Princess Diana was the people's princess. She bore a heart that the world couldn't get enough of. Diana had a way of making you feel like she belonged in a palace and your living room. One minute she's dazzling us at a state dinner, and the next she's kneeling down to talk to a child, eye to eye. When talking about her style, let's just say she knew how to stop traffic. Do you remember the famous revenge dress? It was legendary. But she could just as easily turn heads in jeans and a sweatshirt. Wasn't just about the clothes, it was how she wore them, with this effortless confidence that said, "I'm Diana, take it or leave it." Now, while her public life was always on display, it's the private side of Diana that's most intriguing. Her homes were more than royal residences, they were her sanctuaries, the places where she could finally take a breath, kick off her heels, and just be herself. Today, we're stepping into those homes, places where history and tradition meet personal touches that tell you who Diana really was. Grand? Yes. Stunning? Of course. From majestic halls to her quieter corners, it's like hearing the echoes of a woman who balanced a public life most of us can't imagine, with the very human need for peace, privacy, and a place to just be. Diana. Let's start with Althorp House, a place that's not just a home, but a slice of living history. Tucked away in the New Hamptonshire countryside, this estate stretches across an unbelievable 13,000 acres. It's been in the Spencer family for over 500 years, so you can bet it's packed with stories. This is where Diana spent some of her early years, and it's nothing short of breathtaking. When her father became Earl Spencer in 1975, the family moved from their old home at Sandringham to this massive estate. And by massive, I mean 90 rooms, 31 of them bedrooms. It's one of those places where you'd probably need a map just to find the kitchen. Inside, it's all elegance and history, from its grand Palladian-style stables to its art collection featuring works by European masters like Anthony van Dyck. Outside, the gardens are just as impressive. Think manicured lawns, a deer park, and an oval lake with a small island at its center. That island is now Diana's final resting place. A peaceful, private spot surrounded by nature. Feels like the perfect tribute to someone so special. Today, her brother Charles Spencer takes care of Althorp, keeping the estate and Diana's memory alive for generations to come. Next up is Park House, the place where Diana's story began. It's a charming Victorian home tucked away on the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, England. Built in 1863, it's the kind of house that looks like it came straight out of a classic English countryside postcard. Red brick walls, white sash windows, and just the right amount of old-school fancy. Oh, and the house wasn't just any rental, it was leased to the Spencer family by none other than Queen Elizabeth II, or as Diana called her, Aunt Lilibet. The house itself is elegant, without being over the top. Those bay windows and gables don't just add character, they flood the rooms with natural light. Inside, it's all polished wooden floors, cozy fireplaces, and a timeless charm that makes you want to curl up with tea and a book. It's been updated over the years to keep it functional without losing its historic vibe. In fact, it's now a fully accessible hotel for disabled guests, which feels like a fitting tribute to Diana's legacy of kindness and inclusion. Diana spent most of her early years here, running around the gardens, swimming, and even sharing a tennis court with her siblings, and a few young royals from down the road at Sandringham House. It sounds idyllic, doesn't it? But life wasn't always perfect. Her parents' marriage was rocky, eventually ending in divorce, which cast a shadow over her otherwise happy childhood. In 1975, Diana left Park House when the family moved to Althorp, but the house remains part of her story. Today, it's not just a hotel, it's a symbol of warmth and resilience, much like Diana herself. Now let's take a stroll through Highgrove House, a stunning Georgian estate tucked away in the rolling hills of Glasgow. This isn't just any house, it's the one Prince Charles bought in 1980, and it played a big role during Diana's time as Princess of Wales. Built between 1796 and 1798, it's the kind of place that screams classic elegance, with its grand stone walls, fancy pilasters, and a garden porch added in 1894 for that extra touch of charm. Inside Highgrove is a blend of old-world sophistication and modern comfort. The grand staircase in the entrance hall practically begs for a dramatic entrance, or maybe that's just me. The rooms are filled with antiques, soft pastel colors, and beautiful artwork. The drawing room, with its massive windows overlooking the gardens, feels like the kind of place you'd sip tea and ponder life. There's also a cozy library with walls of books, a computer station, very cutting edge back in the day, and doors that lead to a stunning courtyard. The house has 9 bedrooms, each with its own unique vibe. Think 4-poster beds, sleigh beds, and bathrooms that scream luxury. Thanks to designer Robert Keim, the whole place feels grand but still warm and inviting. Now, the gardens are the real showstoppers. When Prince Charles got the place, the grounds were a bit of a mess, but he transformed them into something spectacular. There's a wildflower meadow, a quirky stumpery, yes, that's a thing, and enough greenery to make any garden lover swoon. For Diana, though, Highgrove was complicated. While it offered moments of peace, it also became tied to the struggles in her marriage. Still, she poured her energy into the local communities, winning hearts at Tetbury and Cirencester with her kindness. After her separation in the early 1990s, Diana left Highgrove behind, closing a bittersweet chapter of her life. Today, it's a hub for Charles's sustainability projects and charitable events, and a house that holds as much history as heart. And finally, we come to Kensington Palace, the last stop on our list and one of the most iconic places tied to Diana's life. This palace is practically a living, breathing history book right in the heart of London. When Diana moved in after her 1981 wedding to Prince Charles, it became much more than a royal residence. She and Charles lived in apartments 8 and 9, which were cleverly combined into one elegant space. With Diana's touch, it became a blend of traditional charm and modern comfort. It wasn't just a place to host official dinners or meet dignitaries. It was where she could relax and just be herself. The palace itself dates back to the 17th century, but it didn't always look this grand. It started as a humble little mansion called Nottingham House. Then, King William III and Queen Mary II swooped in and decided it needed some serious upgrades. Enter Sir Christopher Wren, who worked his magic and transformed it into the stunning palace we see today. He added elegant brick facades, fancy courtyards, and even some 3-story pavilions for that extra flair. And the gardens are a masterpiece. Originally done up the Dutch style with neat little lawns and flower beds, they've been evolving for centuries. Queen Anne even threw in an orangery in 1704 because why not? Today, they're lush, serene, and the perfect complement to the palace's understated beauty. Inside Kensington Palace is all about grandeur. The King's Staircase is like a work of art itself, painted by William Kent with scenes of court life, including a sneaky self-portrait. The state's rooms are pure Georgian luxury with ceilings and walls that look like they belong in a museum. Diana, of course, added her own touch to their apartments. With designer Dudley Poplick, she created spaces that were soft, elegant, and welcoming. Think pastel colors, delicate floral prints, and cozy pink upholstery in her sitting room. Upstairs, the nursery for William and Harry was sweet and simple, filled with love and playful details. Even after her separation from Charles in 1992, Diana stayed at Kensington Palace. It was her safe haven, where she could retreat from the constant glare of the media. She loved the sunken garden, which became even more special after her passing. In 2017, the garden was transformed into the White Garden as a tribute to her, filled with white flowers and foliage. And on what would have been her 60th birthday, a statue of Diana was unveiled there. But Diana's life behind the scenes was far from perfect. Her marriage to Prince Charles was crumbling, and Diana faced struggles many couldn't see. She battled postnatal depression, low self-esteem, and an eating disorder, all while being endlessly hounded by the media and paparazzi. After years of strain, the couple divorced on August 28, 1996. Diana walked away with a significant settlement but lost her royal title. Even so, she remained the people's princess, inspiring millions. Diana maintained her high public profile and continued many of the activities she had earlier undertaken on behalf of charities supporting causes as diverse as the arts, children's issues, and AIDS patients. She also was involved in efforts to ban landmines, to ensure that William and Harry had an understanding of people's emotions, their insecurities, people's distress, and their hopes and dreams. Diana brought her sons with her to hospitals, homeless shelters, and orphanages to acquaint them with the world outside royal privilege. She took them to fast food restaurants and on public transportation. Her compassion, personal warmth, humility, and accessibility earned her the nickname the People's Princess. On August 31, 1997, in the early hours of the morning, Diana and Dodi Fayed were in Paris when tragedy struck. They were in a car reportedly trying to dodge the paparazzi who were chasing them. Things took a devastating turn when their vehicle crashed. It was horrific. Dodi and the driver didn't survive the scene. Diana, though, was alive at first. There was hope. But a few hours later, at a hospital in Paris, she succumbed to her injuries. She was just 36. It's one of those moments in history that made the world stop and left everyone wondering how something so senseless could happen. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.